slides that are clearly not age appropriate, including demonstrations of applying male and female condoms. And it goes on, while CPS spokesman Bill McAfee said in a statement that this objectionable material presented at Andrew Jackson Language Academy this week is not and never was part of the sexual orientation curriculum, as reported at the local NBC affiliate. The slides show the parents are also posted at Walters Elementary School as part of sexual health education. Look, folks, we used to tell people 10 years ago that they were giving kids flu shots without consent. They would lie about it. Then they'd say it was an accident. Now, from Alabama to California, those two states just this month have been caught giving kids flu shots without consent. That's a felony. But they just do it. Are they attempting to overthrow reality? It seems their propaganda is backfiring on them. It seems it's not working, but they still keep doing it. Is there a method of the madness? Or has the establishment, insulated from real criticism and echo chambers, become delusional? We know elites go insane. There's a central global conspiracy, a program, that's public. But more and more, I see it unraveling because their own operatives have been above the law, and so they're outside of the free market of being punished, and so they're becoming delusional. John Rappaport, you're a smart guy when it comes to PSYOPs. NoMoreFakeNews.com. What do you think's really going on?
Yeah, I think they've gone crazy, Alex. I think we're looking at, end stage insanity here. The government commands, you obey. The rights that you have come from the government. I mean, that on the face of it is complete lunacy. And it's a kind of, we're entitled to tell you where your rights come from, what you can do, what you can't do. There's nothing you can do about that because we're immune. We're buffered off from any criticism. We've got the media under control. And then when this insane, these sex programs, education programs in school, the one you just mentioned, the anal sex, deal, they always deny this. I mean, I've seen this happen time and time again. We didn't put this up. This isn't really part of the system that we teach. And then they'll say, well, it's an optional program and it's actually funded by somebody else. They just keep tap dancing and lying. But the truth is, they're doing it. They're doing it all the time. And this is just, these are mind control factories, these schools. And so the elites who have been running these programs forever, these programs in public schools are just now automatic. They just churn themselves out without nobody has to make a phone call from high up to get them to do what they're going to do. They're just following their instructions from years and years ago, and they keep expanding this insanity, and nobody calls them on it. That's the problem. I mean, these parents at the Chicago schools should rise up en masse, march on the school, demand to talk to the principal, the head of the Board of Education. We want you to say why you put this in. Who told you to put it in?
That's right. Let me throw this in because this is a great example. Gruber comes out now in 5 tapes and says he met with the president, developed the lies to rip everybody off. They use non-transparency and the public stupidness to get it done, and it's making everybody upset. This is the attitude. But in these videos, in 3 of the 5, he's teaching PhDs how things really work. That's why they have Delphi technique. They send them to these training seminars to say there is no vaccine exemption form when they know it's there. To say we didn't shoot your kid up without your permission. To say we didn't teach your 5-year-old how to have anal sex. They are just lying, as you said. And then the parents go to the next school and it's hanging on the wall. So again, that's what's so diabolical, is that they're teaching right down to the grassroots how to deceive everybody else. It is a massive criminal conspiracy.
No question about it. And the only vulnerability that exists at the level of children is when the parents stand up and refuse. Okay, here we are, 600 parents knocking on your door, Mr. Principal. Now you have a choice. We'll either take our kids out of school altogether, or you explain exactly why you're doing this and who told you to do it, and let's have the details right now.
That's right. That's why they're training the kids with food worse than Supermax prison food, full of GMO. with the president's wife directing it, just to break their will and train them to be prisoners. This is the takedown of America by a culture of criminal scum.
Digestive health is key to wellness, and Pro-EM1 is the key to digestive health. Pro-EM1 is a daily liquid probiotic that improves food absorption and supports weight loss by removing toxins from your system. Recommended by doctors, Pro-EM1 is 100% natural, organic, non-GMO, wheat, soy, gluten, and dairy-free. Call us today at 888-611-8025 or visit ProEM1.com to save over $25 on your order. That's 888-611-8025 or PROEM1.com.
Newsflash. Home invasions are on the rise. It takes less than 10 seconds to kick in a door. 10 seconds is not enough time to protect your family. And what would happen if you're not home? Easy Armor is the ultimate security solution. 85% of break-ins are through a door. Protect your home now with Easy Armor. Go to InvasionStopper.com to get real security for under $70. That's InvasionStopper.com. Easy Armor. Your security is our only business.
Americans, you are being lied to. Does your skin crawl when a politician or a stock market guru say that we are in the midst of an economic recovery? According to top insiders, the largest financial meltdown in history is coming. You can prepare, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck, how do you find the cash? If you're fortunate enough to have retirement savings, it's probably not enough. And if it's in the market, it could be wiped out just like the last crash. But this time it will almost certainly be much worse. Precious metals are a great hedge, but they won't generate immediate cash flow to pay the bills. Learn the secret to creating cash flow and freedom. Get a free copy of my special report at babyboomerbackupplan.com or call 800-704-4117. That's 800-704-4117. Or visit babyboomerbackupplan.com. Traditional retirement may not be in the cards, but re-inspirement can change everything. babyboomerbackupplan.com.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more urges to urinate, longer bathroom trips, waking at night to urinate, or issues with sex. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-852-1820. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to urinate, improve bladder emptying, reduce waking at night to urinate, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-852-1820. That's 1-800-852-1820. Call 1-800-852-1820.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
In today's unstable environment, self-protection is critical. Civil unrest, riots, looting, it's happening now right here in the United States, and your rights are at risk. If passed, H.R. 5344 would ban Level 3 and above body armor. Cady Armor is standing up for you. We offer the most affordable Level 3 body armor on the market. Cady Level 3 armor withstands pistol and rifle hits up to 7.62 NATO. Get yours at CadyArmor.com. That's CATI Armor.com. Cady Armor. Come and take it.
It's just, you can't do it politically. You just literally cannot do it. Okay? Transparent financing, unless I have transparent financing, also transparent spending. I mean, this bill was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay, so it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay, just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. and basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever.
All right.
But basically, that was really...
We're going to get into sterilization here in a minute, but this is important because it's the playing dumb. And what Jon Rappoport and I just got into, if you just tuned in, I'm your host, Alex Jones. You're listening to InfoWars. Everywhere, they teach cops how to lie. They teach school teachers how to lie. They teach the school administrators how to lie. They teach the county how to lie. They teach the city how to lie. The state attorneys. I had one of the main state attorneys on from Maryland when they were saying, it's the law, all the kids have to have the shots. It was on CNN like 6-7 years ago. They were going in crying to get shots at the courthouse. And I said, but there's a waiver because it's not a law. It's a school policy. You're supposed to give them the waiver. He goes, you ought to be a lawyer. You're right. The judge has those at his desk, but you've got to request one. And no one tells him. And I said, do you take vaccines? And he goes, no, neither do my kids. Started laughing. Like we were winners. He was laughing with me on and off air because we were laughing at all the people with SWAT teams and police dogs barking as they went into the courthouse as this image of you've got to take vaccines so ignorant people watching TV would see that and believe they had to take shots. And it was mainly black people going in to be shot up in Maryland. They're in Baltimore. And so what I'm getting at here is it's a culture of fraud. And tyranny really is when organized crime and fraud takes over your government. And I'll say it again. I'm not bashing police because I found they're more awake on average than the general public. The military's very awake. So it's a natural ally at one level, but also a very dangerous situation. But, John, what I'm trying to get at here is it's amazing. Just like the sterilization, it's in all the UN documents, the funding. They've been caught for 50 years over and over again doing it, giving people polio, spreading it, shooting people up with SV-40, sterilizing women with the tetanus shots. They just got caught again. You just wrote about it. But the few minutes we've got in this short segment, speak to what I'm getting at. How do we articulate this to people? Because they call in and go, my school, in Austin says it's the law. My kid will be kicked out and I'll be arrested. And I go, they're going to use policy to kick them out and then claim truancy. But the law doesn't say they can kick you out for no vaccine. They're fraudulently going to have the police come in and arrest you for the truancy. But they're not supposed to, so it's fraud, but the cop doesn't even know that themselves, and neither will even the grand jury if it was to go to them if you don't plea bargain. I mean, I used to actually go to these courts and warn people in the outside. I did this just a few times, and they would get so upset. So what I'm saying is it's an organized crime deal, but only the judge and only the school administrators know of the fraud. Isn't that incredible?
Oh, yeah. It's that incredible and more. I mean, remember what Pelosi said about Obamacare. We have to pass the legislation in order for you to be able to know what it says, which indicated, of course, what everybody knew, which was none of the congressmen who voted for it even knew what was in it, the thousands of pages. So when I heard this, and I recovered from it, this was some time ago, I thought back to when I grew up. I mean, if the New York Times had printed on the front page, Congress passes law affecting all Americans without reading it, that would have been a gigantic scandal. I mean, that would have never stopped. But drip by drip, drop by drop, the lying, the fraud becomes so embedded in public life, private life, everywhere, corporate life, that people don't even blink now when this guy Gruber says, well, of course we're not transparent. I mean, what idiot would be transparent? That's not the way to get a law passed. We live in a PR society. Everything is about public relations. And the public, unfortunately, has gotten used to that and accepts it to a tremendous degree, that people will say and do anything in order to achieve their objectives. And they say, well, of course, I mean, that's the way the world works. So who would think it'd be any different, But of course it's different. I mean, as you say, this is organized crime all the way to the top. And people have to start rebelling against it. That is what wakes people up.
Because if we wait too late, we'll be like Mexico or North Korea, never get out of it. Because it'll just become so systematic. This is what destroys wealth. It's what destroys civilizations. And it's reached cuckoo level. You're going to have the floor, Jon Rappoport, when we come back, getting into the huge stories that you've been kind of collating the admissions of the secret sterilization program worldwide. Stay with us.
We're on the mark.